Hello, everyone. So, this is a very special moment. This is a very special video because James Gunn, his brand new DC universe, has officially kickstarted. Well, technically, Creature Commandos was the first one, but anyway, was the first project in James Gunn's new DC universe. But anyway, this is the first film in the DC in James Gunn's brand new DC universe, Superman. Superman. Now, if you guys don't know anything about me and my relationship with the character of Superman, I love Superman. I really love the character of Superman. He's so colorful. It kind of reminds me of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Such a Spider-Man. I know he's Marvel. People who are watching this video don't give a shit about Marvel. You guys are DC fans. But anyway, you know, both characters are very positive, and colorful, and optimistic. And yeah, like Superman, I remember when I was a little kid. I think I might have said this in like Man of Steel or Zack Snyder's when I did a review for one of them. Um, in a recent video, but I remember when I was a little kid, a baby boy, I would sit in the living room, like I not on a couch, not a sofa. I would sit, like literally sit on like the living room floor, in right in front of the TV, and I would just watch for the very first time Christopher Reeves Superman movie, like the first Superman movie, which came out like the 1970s, 78, something like that, 78 ish. And after I watched that movie, I was so astounded and amazed. I love his costume, I love his powers. It was just so exciting as a little kid. And as a little kid, as a result of all that, I would, you know, borrow my dad's bath towel and wrap it around my neck and pretend it was a cape, and I would just pretend that I was flying, quote unquote, around my house. My house was Metropolis, and I was flying all over the place, pretending I was Superman. Um, and I had such it was the character means so much to me, and Christopher Reeve. You got so many actors. There are dozens of actors, both who played Superman, whether it's animation. Superman's been around for like decades, through animation, through video games, through the movies and televisions, you name it. He's been around in the comics, for like all these years. I think since like 1938 or something, 1938, 39. Um, Action Comics #1, Superman. But yeah, the character means so much to me, and I was sad when I heard that Henry Cavill, my boy Henry Cavill, my man Henry Cavill, was no longer going to be playing Superman. DC, they were just going to start all over again in a better, bolder direction in the hands of James Gunn. I was like, okay, James Gunn, this man directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, except the second one. I know a lot of people liked Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I didn't. I think it was too jokey, too comedic. I wish they would have really took things seriously in the second one, but they sort of did in the third one, even though there was some jokes. There were a lot of jokes in the third Guardians movie, and I had a fun time with James Gunn, his Suicide Squad, and I love Peacemaker. Peacemaker season one, Peacemaker. That show was hilarious, and it was so deep. I was not expecting so much from John Cena's character, this one character, from this douchebag from the Suicide Squad. And James Gunn did such an incredible job. And I can't wait for Peacemaker Season 2 next month, ladies and gentlemen. August 21st. Mark your calendars on HBO Max. August 21st. Anyway, I haven't seen Slither and I haven't seen Super, so those two are on my list. But I do know he didn't direct, but he did. James Gunn did produce Brightburn, which is a dark, which is like Superman if Superman was a serial killer, pretty much like a serial killer, like I don't know, like fucking Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, just going around killing people. So he produced he was involved. So James Gunn was involved in a Superman-ish project, Brightburn, which I did do a review way back in the day in my older, like earlier YouTube days. But we have a new actor playing Superman, David Cornsweet, and this man looks like, goddamn, he looks like Superman. His eyes, he looks like, when it was announced that he was going to be playing Superman, I looked at him and I'm like, dude, this guy looks like Superman. Like his face, his eyes, his jawline, like he looks like a young Henry Cavill. And that's what a lot of people have been saying. He looks like a young Henry Cavill, this David guy. And David, I've seen one episode. I've seen a few episodes of his Netflix show Hollywood just to get a taste of his acting performance, and I saw only one episode of Rachel Brosnan's. I sorry if I mispronounced her last name. Rachel's TV show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, on Amazon Prime, just to get a taste of her acting experience because I've never been introduced. I've never seen anything from her. I know Nicholas Hoult. I mean, Renfield, Warm Bodies, the X-Men movies, and recently Nosferatu. So I know who Nicholas Hoult is. But David, the first movie that I seen David in, the very first one was Pearl. He was in this like slasher horror movie, Pearl, and then following that up, he was in the Twisters movie. And so yeah, so David, I thought, David and Rachel, Nicholas Hoult, like their Superman, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor were all incredible, like terrific. I mean, come on, like they're amazing, tremendous actors. Um, and they really, Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, his Lex Luthor does feel like Lex Luthor. David Cornsweet, his Superman felt like Superman from the comics, and and Rachel, her Lois Lane, she really embodied Lois Lane. Each of these actors really embodied and represented each of their characters, and their performances, their acting was incredible. I felt very happy and positive and full of hope, which is what Superman's all about, hope. Uh, after I finished watching this movie, I just had a huge smile on my face, and I felt really happy and optimistic. I don't think this movie is. I am looking forward to seeing. I will say this is a very good start. I wish it was great. I want to say great. I want to say better than Man of Steel, but no. I think it's a really good. This movie is a really good movie, but ladies and gentlemen, do not go into this movie thinking, oh, you're going to get an origin story, because James Gunn, I'm pretty sure James Gunn himself, the man himself, said that his Superman movie is not going to be an origin story, all right? You're not going to see the same shit you've seen. We all know Superman's origin, the same thing we know, the same origin, just like Batman and Spider-Man. We've seen it dozens of times. It's been represented in there have been different types of iterations, but we all know the gist of it. We don't need to see him, getting put in a spaceship and thrown into outer space and crash land on a farm, adopted by the Kents, growing up Smallville, moving to Metropolis, falling in love with Lois Lane. We don't need to see all that. Just jump all that. We just jump through all that. We know the story. We all know the story. We don't need to hear it all again. So yeah, do not go into this movie thinking it's going to be an origin story. It's not. James Gunn said way before, they started shooting this movie, it's not going to be an origin story. It's not an origin story. You're just going to be thrown right into like the action. You're just going to be thrown right into this comic book. And this movie felt like a comic book. It really does. Like this movie, no spoilers. Maybe extremely light spoilers like pocket universes. This movie explores pocket universes, not multiverse, but pocket universes. And I think that pocket universe is going to lead into Peacemaker season 2. If you guys seen the trailer for Peacemaker season 2, it's not a spoiler. Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, are both in Peacemaker season 2, and both of them I really liked Isabel's and Nathan and all the actors, but the two standouts for me was Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, this cocky son of a bitch. Nathan Fillion did a great job portraying that character of Guy Gardner because that's who he is. But the standout for me was definitely Eddie's Mr. Terrific. His Mr. Terrific was the VIP. He was the VIP out of the whole Justice Gang. Hawk Girl, Metamorpho, Guy Gardner. Mr. Terrific is definitely the stand-up. There was one scene, no spoilers. I was like, dude, this guy's a badass, and he's funny. He's so much. This movie has so much energy, and like I said, I feel very positive. Definitely looking forward to the future of this brand new James Gunn's new DC universe. It's not perfect, like I said. When the movie opens up, it skips the origins. You just get thrown right into it. You just get thrown right into the battle, right into the action, and Lois and Clark, they're already a couple. You just have to go with it. You just have to go with the flow. Lex Luthor and Superman are already enemies. Lex Luthor has been keeping tabs and keeping eyes um on Superman. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So so yeah, just keep that in mind. Even though I really enjoyed this movie, I still think I don't know why. I'm like, I think for some part of me, I prefer Man of Steel. Like if I had to choose Man of Steel, I know Man of Steel has like a 50 something percent on Rotten Tomato, like the critic score. I don't care. I don't give a shit because I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I just rewatched Man of Steel, and dude, like I got goosebumps. I got chills when Henry Cavill, for the first time, put on the Superman suit. He's in the Arctic, he's in the Arctic ice, and he flies for the first time. He sonic booms all the way up into the air. It was just so impactful, and I get chills just talk. I'm getting chills just like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's so amazing. But yeah, I prefer Man of Steel over this, even though this is a better directing. But I get it. It's a better movie. It's a better Superman movie. But I still prefer Man of Steel. I would even prefer Brandon Routh's. Well, actually, nah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for Brandon Routh's Superman, but I actually prefer this movie over Brandon Routh's Superman. I prefer Man of Steel over this Superman. But nothing can beat Christopher Reeves, like his very first Superman movie, like the Superman the movie, like back in the 70s. No other Superman movies could compete with that. Um, so yeah, there's that. If I have any issues, like I said, my issues, like I said, it's not an origin story. You're just getting thrown right into action. You just got, and whether you like it or not, you have to like roll with it. You have to you have to roll with the flow. You're getting thrown right into the story. You know, it doesn't slow down. It just there's no you know, it just keeps going on and on. Um, Maybe some of the jokes were pretty cringe. I guess I don't know. Like I thought some of the jokes were funnier than others. Some of them, a few of them didn't really work out for me. Like I, it was came off as cringe for me. Left a bad taste in the mouth. But like that's pretty much it. Um, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I guess there's not much more story. I guess, maybe, okay, I will say this. A big issue I have with this movie is probably this, like the story itself. I guess Superman, I guess from watching the movies, I guess after watching the movie, I came out thinking, like, okay, so Superman is trying to prevent a war that is going on. He's trying to prevent a war between America and Boravia, whatever, this Russian European country. Lex Luthor, Nicholas Holt is doing something shady and illegal with this European country. And he like it's and it and the story just goes back and forth between these two countries, these two stance, and I just at the end it really didn't work out for me, to be honest with you. And besides that, a few of the jokes didn't work out for me, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Everything else I love. Like I love. It's incredible. It's amazing, and I'm hopeful for James Gunn's DC universe. I really do. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to my review, my thoughts on Superman. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because that would help me out a lot. I appreciate that, because when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, it helps me to keep making more videos like the one you're watching right now, which is something I love to do. It's something I'm passionate about, and I appreciate your support. I'm thankful for all of you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.